November 2nd, 2025. I've heard people talk from Maslin to New Philly today about Agent John being outside my work, talking. It was him coming down, confessing that he made a deal with that guy that did this to me, that he wouldn't arrest him. If he turned over all his drug connections, and he would tell people he didn't care what happened to me. He even said he didn't care if I'd survive. Or he didn't think I'd survive through it. He didn't think I would have survived through everything. That's premeditated attempt to murder. Agent John. Oh, people were talking about that in New Philly. They didn't think about where Agent John came down and said that it would be considered an attempt to murder and premeditated. Oh, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? And you're complaining because that idiot was trying to get your case thrown out against the drug cartel? People were talking yesterday in Walmart 62. We all know that guy is trying to get the cartel to kill Will for cutting that deal with him. No honor among thieves. Cartel found out Michelle's family lied to him, so they have a biker bring her down and have her confess this whole thing is her family's debt to drug dealers. They bashed in my head, had me raped and tortured because they were in debt to drug dealers. They even let that agent over my case's life get threatened because they were in debt to drug dealers, even human traffic people because they were in debt to drug dealers. They were the ones behind inciting my new husband's family because they wanted that land of his. To bash his head in, kidnap him, have an attorney find him incompetent, and walk off with everything he owns because they wanted it. Full confession, September 30th, 25, about 1 o'clock in the morning. My car is bugged by the police and FBI. Recorded Michelle. And that agent, will you think about him going up to Apostolic Church of Barberton? I called the hotline. They drugged me out so bad so I can't get out of bed. He goes around telling everybody I called the FBI hotline. He always cut a deal with the guy that did it to me. Huh? Turn over your drug connections. I'll tell everybody I don't care what happens to her. Fed me back to him on purpose. The law stays. Oh, he could, tell him I won't prosecute you if you give up your drug dealers, but he can't turn me back over to him. That's an accessory to crimes. It's illegal for law enforcement to turn a victim back over to a drug dealer to get him. It's an accessory. People were complaining yesterday with him telling Apostolic Church of Barberton he knew I was being drugged, being raped, and didn't care. He was an accessory to human trafficking me. Oh, an attempt to murder. Premeditated. And then where you don't have the authority. See, that's where people were talking. They didn't even think about him not having the authority to ask anybody to stay quiet. That it's just a higher police officer. Because if you think of local police, are just over the local area. Sheriffs are over the county. State patrol does the state highways. And then there's federal police officers who can work anywhere in the United States. There's FBI, Secret Service, and U.S. Marshals. They're all police officers. They're not submittable to each other at all. They're all police officers. That's all they are. Can the police tell you can't say anything? No. First Amendment, freedom of speech. Only a judge in a jury trial. We all know that. Like people said, we didn't even think about that. No, he played your stupidity. I want you to think about that. He played your stupidity. You know, years ago, people said that agent knew better than to ever touch her case. He actually knew that guy before. The one that came in with the scam, they knew each other. They knew each other. And then from the beginning of the case, they have said that he took a payoff. Bet he did. Where they said he stole the money the first day, December 2nd, 22. Bet he did. Open the case to steal from the government. No, I didn't know what he was up to. No, I didn't know he was going to leave me up there with no help. And I didn't know he got a deal with that guy. I want to risk my life for him to get drug dealers. Seriously? I didn't even know there was drug dealers involved. I was so drugged up there, I thought the dirty well water was giving me cancer. I knew nothing. All he did is steal from the government and victimize another victim. See, that's where Grant, my one friend, has a friend that's an FBI in another FBI agent in another office in another state. Said if she really didn't get her informant money, only one could took it was that agent. He's probably been stealing from cases for a long time, getting away with it. See, that's where Sheriff David, Mike DeWine's cousin, that agent is so arrogant with you. He's probably been stealing a long time to the point that he's daring the local police to even arrest him. He's not even afraid of them. He's not even afraid of them. He's doing it right in front of them. He's stolen so much, so many times, he's not even afraid of the local police to arrest him. January to March of 19, in the mall, this guy said, you know, I could write a bestseller, and what happened? I call it Karen's Prayers. A paid-off dirty agent. A man trying to kill his wife and men being shot at running. It'd be a bestseller. That's where I got the name of my videos. Add drug lords, human traffickers, terrorists, selling government technology. Then by, what was it, April to June of 19, two heavyset blonde girls show up. They called them Michelle and Lauren. Said they were stealing everything from them. All through the case, they said that agent was stealing from them. October 4th, 23, Maslin, they said that that agent was stealing for them. Paul Maslin. They had already told in June or July up in Akron on Forest Grove Drive that agent was stealing for them. October 6, 23, Walmart 62, about before 9 o'clock in the morning. They were saying that it's the one guy from the case has been stealing every time. And he's stealing for his girlfriend. That girl that's breaking, he's stealing for her. It's him. December 2nd, 22, it's that one guy from the case stealing every dime since the first day. November 20th, 23, in the morning, he took a payoff and he stole my money. Walmart 62. Repeatedly. How he stole my money, and those girls bragging that one of them's dating him and he's stealing for them. In November 21, on Farmers, a dating site, there was a Michael Peterson. I started talking to him. First, I thought he was a setup, okay? Then he started sounding legit. Then he got weird. He was dealing with Muslim countries. Then he was going to buy into an oil field. Then an oil tanker, actually. And he was going to have it shipped back to the United States. Thought, you have that kind of money. What are you doing with me? You know what I mean? What are you doing with me? He said he was dealing with Trakasami. He'd been dealing with Trakasami before. Okay. I told him I didn't believe him. He said, why would I lie to you? I said, then prove it. Sent me a letter of allegation, a bill of sale for oil. Got when he was leaving the airport, the time where he was staying down there. When the tanker was coming back, and what state was buying the smuggled oil. We have sanctions against them. Okay. Turned it in even though I knew the feds were recording. Last time I heard he got stuck in Venezuela, the feds turned off his credit cards. Sanctions are for everyone. Get the idea? Lady investigator said she called down about Michael Peterson's shipment. Said it wasn't legit, they would do an investigation. He was arrested last year with 50 other people for selling oil out from underneath his government. Like they set up in Akron a year ago, what an accomplishment. One of their informants got information leading to Truck Asami's arrest. They don't even know what to say to her after everybody that got off this case. They got Judge Peters out of Florida, 100 men. U.S. Marshals used my case, got thousands, saved people. You know, some idiot was down in New Philly saying we didn't think about what with Agent John showing up saying that stuff outside her work, that he could go to jail for attempted murder. Why didn't you? We thought she'd stay quiet about it, trying to save the case. Well, he didn't care enough to save the case. He stole from it. Made it public he was stealing. Public is corruption. You know, I talked to a criminal attorney, my friend Walter, that used to work at the Stark County Prosecutor's Office, police. Grant talked to his friend that's an FBI agent. Agents are only hired police officers. They don't have the authority to ask anybody to stay quiet. Can't be in a court order. It's for risking your life to get them information. And they owe you for the rest of your life. He can't withhold it. He can't misdirect it. He can't make up his own rules. There's guidelines. It's for risking your life to get them information. And it takes a judge in a jury trial. Freedom of speech. First Amendment. So far, if he took that $10 million reward, he took about $10,500,000 from the government and stole it out of my case alone. And telling people he don't care what happens to me? Was letting them torture me, bash my skull in, almost kill me. And he didn't care? You think I would have stayed there? For him just to open up a case and steal from the government, I would not be an accessory to those crimes. Nor did I know that's what he was doing. And he was doing it. And so he could steal. He had cut a deal with a person. An illegal deal. He could say, you know, I won't prosecute you if you give up the drug dealers. But he can't say he'd sacrifice me and wouldn't care what happened to me. That makes you aiding and abetting crimes. It's right on Google. It's illegal for any kind of police to sacrifice somebody to a drug dealer to get the drug dealers. It's aiding and abetting crimes. And they already announced that the guy that did this to me, that him and that agent already knew each other. And that he knew better than to ever touch my case. Someone needs to arrest him. And like Walter said, until the FBI puts you in another witness protection program, you'll stay informant for life. You'll be in immunity for life. You'll get that money the rest of your life. Karen, you don't realize you're in not only in an informant program, but a witness protection program. You're in an attempt and a threat of lie case, protected custody case. And then he's telling everybody not to help me. Cut a deal with a bastard that was harming me so he could steal. He didn't think I'd survive. It's attempted murder. Someone needs to arrest that agent. He's very dangerous. Showing up and saying that horrible stuff. You know, where people are saying, you know, that idiot thought he'd get the cartel to kill Will for cutting that deal with him. Or telling on him for him setting the cartel up. The cartel already turned Michelle over to the police and the feds, having her confess to all those crimes on September 30th, 25. No one arrested him. And so he thought he could become down and arrogant, and where they've been trying to get the case thrown out against the cartel because he had no right around me because he was defrauding me. So he comes down and tells everybody he cut a deal with that guy to give up his drug connections. That's why all those drug dealers went to jail. I think the cartel will take care of him. There is no honor among thieves. None. None. See, Mike DeWine's kissing Sheriff David. He wanted to know if our police were slow. Wanted to know why they didn't arrest that agent the first day. For the way he talked to me, for telling on me, and then not paying me. He said, you should have been put in a safe house the first day. What is wrong with your local police? And that agent stealing all kinds of money from the government in front of everyone, they got him dead to rights. And his girlfriend running around saying he's stealing for her. He probably is. Been stealing like like Grant's friend that's a federal agent out of state. He stole from her case. He's probably been stealing for a while, getting away with him. And like Sheriff David, Mike DeWine's cousin, he's so arrogant with you, he's not even afraid of the police to arrest him. He's doing it right in front of him and daring him. They got him dead to rights. Someone needs to arrest him. Other people were talking. We heard how that lady that thought she could make money off of it, how dumb she is. And all the different laws that would stop them, and that I could sue them and they'd end up in jail. Nobody say a word. Didn't think about it. No. They've been using people's stupidity to get away with this. It's HIPAA violations. No doctor could ever be with them. It's 10 years federal. Strict HIPAA violations. No doctor tapes you unaware of HIPAA violations. No doctor, you can't pull somebody else's medical records without someone sign consent. You have to have a copy of their ID. You have to be their doctor. And they still have to have all that. Truly said they could never have my medical records. In January 19, they said they had fake paperwork to make it look official. It's not true about her. Some guy wrote it up, didn't like her. Told me to get rid of it. It's probably that. But no doctor could ever work for them and be one of my doctors. They could never even talk to them. It's a federal crime, 10 years. See, they're so stupid. They don't know HIPAA violations. Then the right to privacy over your house, like people in Louisville. Some ladies run around saying she's weird with herself and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And it's the right to privacy in your home. And her family didn't know anything about it. No, they didn't. They photoshopped my head on somebody else's body at a drug scam. Admitted they walked up and stabbed me with hypnotic drugs and drugged me and told me to say horrible stuff. And I didn't remember even being stabbed. How would you like to be me? And the people you've never met don't even know who they are. Predators preying on you. How would you like to move into a home and when 6 days into it, somebody kicks in your door and your spouse is making an excuse not to report it, nothing's missing, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and find out they set up body cameras, stalking you, cyber stalking, felony invasion of privacy, you go to jail for that. If any attorney sets up body cameras, they're to be disbarred, criminally charged, and you can sue them. Like a police officer had told me, even the FBI would go to jail for being in your home outside that protected custody case with statements. It's protected custody cases with statements with a court order without a conflict of interest. Nothing else. There's nothing else. Even the FBI would go to jail. It's a felony invasion of privacy. Cyber stalking. Illegal monitoring. They go to jail. And by the second week, you're all collapsing outside in front of the neighbor, comes running over, can I help you? And for God, awful reason, I don't know why, I was trying to mow the lawn with my heart racing through my neck, collapsing, I had bruises on me. No, I kept saying, well, I don't know what's wrong with me. How would you like, the well water's orange, took us a couple months to get a water treatment system in. Brought in bottled water to drink and cook with, but you had to wash your hands after you use the bathroom, get a fast shower. And you take a shower, dry off, get in bed, go to sleep, wake up with orange, lemon, grapefruit-sized bruises. Severely infected, throwing up, headache, almost passing out, going to the doctor, what on earth is wrong with me? Some mornings wake up fine, go out and work outside, wash my hands, come in, wash my hands, make something to eat and drink a lot of Diet Coke, pour out in a 2-liter into a glass, go and use the bathroom. Wash my hands better, come out and take a drink in the room, went to Sam Black, and the same thing. Orange, lemon, grapefruit-sized bruises on me. Severely infected, throwing up, personal infection. I'd scream when I went to the bathroom. Here I'm being human trafficked out of that house, under drugs. Drugged up, and they admitted they used hypnotic drugs, caused the metal taste in my mouth, throwing up, and no memory. Caused the sleepwalking. They admitted since 18 they were drugging in, telling me to say stuff before. They were beating, raping me. 18, they photoshopped all their lies. They admitted it was a shower scene in the other room. Then July 24th, 25, they did a body ratio. It wasn't even me. It was my head on somebody else's body showering. It's a drug scam. Of drug confessions and photoshopping and washing and stalking things. If you drug somebody for a fake confession and tell them to say stuff, it's pharmaceutical torture and it's 20 years. It's kidnapping. You have somebody being raped, it's human trafficking under drugs. You go to jail for that. You go to jail for all this. They should have been slammed to that agent's desk and arrested the first day. And like Mike DeWine's cousin, Sheriff David, you should have been put in a safe house the first day. Instead, I was left in the middle of the cartels while they got surveillance. I was told on. I called the hotline, I told you, and I cried my eyes out. They'll have an agent call me back next morning. The phone's ringing. They have me so drugged up. I can't even wake up. Let it go to voicemail, wake up later. I'm so drugged up, I can't even stand up straight. Holding onto the wall to get to the bathroom, to get to the refrigerator. Got back in bed, listened voicemail. This is Agent Dida, call me back. I can't. And I fell back to sleep. Second day, not much better. Third day, made myself get up, sitting on the front porch. I feel drunk and I don't drink. What's wrong with me again? I got to call that guy back. Got enough air in my face. Called my witness back. Said she had witnessed for me. Went out to buy her a card, put that Angel's number in it. Go up to Apostolic Church of Barberton. And Paul Paymer, the minister up there, got in day says, my God, I had an FBI agent in my office. He's right there. I walk off. As he's screaming, how dare you bring the FBI up here with threats on her life. Women walk up. He knows she's being drugged, beaten, raped. He said he didn't care. I'm covered in bruises, lost 18 pounds, and severely infected. I go in and I sit down, and they sit behind me and say the same thing. He knows she's being drugged, beaten, raped, and he said he didn't care. If she was going to be faking, she was sick, Stranger's Lie from 15 years ago to cover up Tim and Katie. When it was a medication error, medical malpractice, and fraud almost killed me. And if she was going to be mean to her, to women, he was going to turn her back over to him. Can you imagine an agent saying that? Dave comes in, let's go. He told people he was going to defraud me before he opened the case. Get out in the truck. You called the FBI on me. I had to kill you myself. I said, what did you expect me to do with people threatening my life and showing up in the tent? Goes for a loaded gun. I put my hand on the console. And he goes to beating me, and I almost jumped out on the highway. Ran from him when I got home. Next day, I called that agent back. I tell him someone told on me. Calls me a liar. I tell him about the guy that threatened to knife me at Giant Eagle. He starts screaming about, calls me a liar, starts screaming about a camera above the bench. I don't know. You say you're lying or I'll arrest you. And he starts screaming how he's going to come up there and put me in jail. If you don't say you're lying, I'll put you in jail. It's like, fine, whatever. Ha, 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 ha. And I told him, I said, well, you tried to kidnap me before. Oh, come on now. Even if a church person seen him, they'd never verify it. That's why I didn't tell him about Terry Coberly seeing him. And she did verify it. He said, I had that family in my office, the one her father murdered her kid, and vehicular homicide had nothing to do with it. And all those church people, and I know they're trying to kill you. And he said, strangers lie. I said, I really was sick before. Conspiracy and attempted murder is a federal crime. His job was to arrest him for their confession, not make fun of the drugged up, beat up rape victim that had almost been murdered. And I said, I really was sick before. You say you're lying or I'll arrest you. You hear me? Da, 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 da. It's like, fine, whatever. Ha, 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 ha. He let a serial killer go. Melissa's niece was taken months later by the same guy. You think it's funny now? Then he said, I want you to say you're faking you were sick before. Well, that's ridiculous. I almost died. He said, I said, I really was sick before. And then goes back to how he had all those people in his FBI office. They already knew I called. And he said, you need to realize what you've done. And I don't blame him for trying to kill you. Recorded line. That he's aiding and abetting murder. An attempt at murder. I said, I really was sick before. You say, you were faking or I'll leave you there, but they'll kill me. So they've tried to kill me. So say or I'll leave you there. It's like, fine, just don't let them kill me. Ha, 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 ha. That's how not funny this is. And he's like, why would the FBI help a person like you? Oh, they've tried to kill me. So they've tried to kill, they're going to kill me. So the other one yells out, I found that some guy Dave hired on his own. I've never met him yet. We could use Pete's Tupperware with yourself the shower scene photoshopped in the other room. I said, what are you talking about? Because I don't even know who he's talking about or what he's talking about. And I said, what are you talking about? Stop, she don't know. He says something else. Now, I've never met him. He's laughing at me. Stop, she don't know. Then he says, I bet you're going to say you don't know anything about this doctor. Da, 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 da. Well, I had some other lady use my insurance. I found out through the investigation it was another girlfriend I dated ran up medical bills in my name for 15 years, stuck me with the copay. I thought maybe it was that other lady who was using my insurance. Here, no, it's just a scam. March 27, 25, an agent had got it out of Michelle that the doctor from before was never one of mine. He works for them, and they had lied. He was one of my doctors, and she actually doesn't know who he is. And she said it April 17th, 25. Again, in front of the police and fence. Okay? So, it's just a scam. Of course it has to be a scam because of HIPAA. None of my doctors could ever be with them. That's illegal. It's illegal for them to tape you unaware. It's illegal. The whole thing's illegal. The doctor would end up in jail 20, 30 years. He could sue him. HIPAA violations. I said, what are you talking about? Stop, you don't know. He said, give me a real reason. I tell him about my brother-in-law, Craig, that worked for the government. He said, first of all, if you talk to any law enforcement about threats on your life, I said, the only 2 officers I've ever talked to, August 8th of 18, midnight light in the security system came out and said it looked like an alien orb, angry spirit. Told me to buy a dog and let a dog handle it. They didn't want bothered. You're kidding, right? And I said, no. Matter of fact, I've never had my neighbors in my home. I've only had family repair guys and installation guys and those 2 silly officers. Is that what's going on? Do you know if Dave's cheating? I said, I've never caught him. Started laughing with the other guy. She said she never caught him. December 9th, 18. Dave verifies that I've never caught him with anybody. So why is that funny? It's not. Exactly. He said, well, I could take you somewhere and leave you. It comes with no money. I have no money to start. Well, if you agree to get information on Dave and the churches, I can open an informant program. Okay? I said, I can do that. He said, it comes with $5,000 a month. I'm opening an account today. He said, you'll have a life of peace as an informant. Nothing legally dated against you again. And only for you would we ever do this for. We'll always put it back as if it never happened. You can't be legally charged for anything again for working this case. He said, admit to no wrongdoing and I'll take care of everything in the end. He said, but if you try to tell someone, I'll tell the FBI won't help you. and I'll tell people you're crazy. And, but if you need help, the chief of police of Canton is my best friend. And, he'll make sure the Canton police always protects you no matter what. I told Walter Moss from the Starr County Prosecutor's Office left, I cried tears. He said, first of all, it's a freedom of speech, First Amendment. That agent doesn't have enough authority to ask anybody to stay quiet. I said, but he's already told hundreds of people, seen doing it, and confessed on a record line everybody already knew. He said, he can't tell on you, but you can tell however you want. He said, and he can't say a word. He was only bullying you. It can't be in a court order. No judge could sign it. It's illegal for him to even say that. He's only a higher police officer. Police officers don't have the authority to ask anybody to stay quiet. He was only bullying you, Karen. And he said, you don't realize you're not only in an informant case, but a witness protection program. And you're in a protected custody case and threat of life and attempted life case. He said, until the FBI puts you in another witness protection program, you'll stay an informant for life. You get the money for risking your life to get them information. And he can't make up his own rules. There's guidelines is for risking your life. And you stay in immunity the rest of your life for working this case. He said that agent was only bullying you. It takes a judge in a jury trial, freedom of speech. And he said what these people did is a fraud scheme. It's the Fourth Amendment over the House. No one can be in your house but police and agencies under a threat of life with statements with a court order without a conflict of interest. It's a big fraud scheme. Photoshopping and washing in the shower in the other room where they're laughing at you in stores in front of people, and where you had all the signs of being drugged, beat, raped. They probably did drug you up until you say something. That's why you'd never seen or talked to anybody, and you had to be seen for the doctor for all those injuries. Somebody was harming you, Karen. It's a big fraud scheme. I talked to a criminal attorney. I talked to the police. And my friend from the prosecutor's office, he doesn't have the authority to ask anybody to stay quiet. And what these people did is illegal. Even talked to the Portage County Sheriff. They had no idea what those people were doing to me. And what they did is illegal. Okay? And that's why when the police look me up, I'm still an informant. I'll be an informant for life. I'll be in immunity for life. My money will come in every month, and that agent is stealing it. Get the idea? And he doesn't have the authority to ask anybody to stay quiet. No judge can sign his own arrest warrant. Because they can only put a gag order on you in jury trials. And only during the jury trial. We have a freedom of speech. And police cannot take your freedom of speech away. Nobody can but a judge.